Okay, so now that we have seen how to use this tool, what are the workflows, how we can customize, how we can create a project, let's see more interesting use cases. For instance, the identification. For the identification, we have a specific template. Okay, let me create a new project. Okay, let's keep team creation. And in the text content type, there is this template, the identification, right? So this will pre-populate my taxonomy with a list of PHI entities. Okay, I can save my configuration and move next. I want to de-identify the entire document. And in my resource reuse tab, I see that the clinical de-identification pipeline is automatically selected, and I see all the entities which are covered here. Next, I have a UI which is dedicated to de-identification. So this tab has changed compared to the other project types. And here I see all the customization that I can apply to my de-identification pipeline. So I can apply them at project level, right? So either mask all the entities with all sensitive entities with entity label, mask with characters, mask with fixed length characters. Here you see some preview. I can obfuscate them, or I can fine tune or select the identification strategies at entity level. For instance, for the account, I want to mask it with characters. For URL, mask it with entity labels. For professions, I want to just choose entity label. See, for age, I want to obfuscate it into different age groups, right? So for instance, if I have a 3-year-old, it will go into the category or into the class 4. For cities, for instance, I want to just obfuscate them or replace them with fake city names. For states, I just want to mask it with characters and so on. So I can specify very precise the identification strategies at entity level. Okay. Okay. Once I have my configuration ready, and here you see you can define it for all the entities. For instance, for date, you can consistently shift the dates, all dates by 10 or 2 or 3, 30 or 8 days, right? So this will, for instance, change the actual date of the presentation or of the year of birth by 10 days, so that you know all the dates are shifted. If you have different encounters for the same patients, they will all be shifted with the same value, so that you can still obtain a coherent patient timeline, right? So that it doesn't randomly shift the dates or change the dates randomly, but you still, and then you will lose the chain of events which happen for that patient. So in this case, you can use consistent shifting. Okay. So once you have defined all of your strategies, you can save the configuration and deploy the project for pre-annotation. Okay. Next step will be to, here you have different options which can help speed up the annotation process, like serve the next task after completion and so on. So all of those are documented on our documentation website or on the documentation page here. So if you click on this button, you'll have a detailed information in context that you can use to help guide you in your project creation or in your work. Okay, so now going to the tasks view, let me just import some synthetic PHI data. Okay, I've created 10 nodes. Now notice that here we have a new tag, right, which is assigned to all the tasks, non-de-identified, right? So everything is incomplete, the same as in the regular projects, but we have the non-de-identified. Now for the identification type of projects, you'll see that we have two actions which are available when we want to run pre-annotation. So first of all, we need to identify the PHI entities within the documents, right? So first I press the identify PHI. Then I ask domain experts to check the tasks with pre-annotation from the model and ensure that all PHI was correctly removed or obfuscated or masked. And after that, I will apply actual de-identification, which will remove it, and I'll remove all of those entities, and then according to the strategies that I have defined, and then I will be able to safely share those tasks and this content with third parties for further analysis. So for instance, this is what the model identified as sensitive data. So remember, this is still the original document, nothing changed. It's just that the model has identified, okay, this is a patient name, this is a date, a medical record, and so on, okay? Okay, so now if I accept this prediction as an annotator, I go through all of these, I accept another one. Okay, maybe I want to change something. No, everything seems okay. Here as well. Okay, now going back to the tasks. Okay, I see that, okay, I have a couple of submitted tasks, right? Now, if I click pre-annotation again, and now I apply the identification, right? What the model does now is that it looks into the submitted tasks, both entities which were predicted by the model or manually added by the experts, by the annotators, and will apply the identification strategies on top of those tasks. You see that only the ones which are submitted have been changed now, because this is a human in the loop type of workflow, right, where we need some humans to validate that PHI has not leaked. If something leaked, they will manually change if we are publishing this data or give it away to another team. So usually what happens, what is the process that our customers follow, is that they run the identification at scale on Databricks, then they pick a sample set of documents. Let's say they run the identification on 2 billion records. We had a customer who did that recently. They picked a sample of those documents, they imported them into GenAI Lab. They had a team of medical doctors, experts in the identification, double check that all the PHI was correctly removed, and then only then they share the data with external third parties. So by the way, they had 99%, our models had 99% accuracy in that use case. It is publicly available, you can check it on our website. Now, okay, so you've seen that now we have, okay, so let me go here. Under the versions, okay, I have the de-identified data. In order to see how the document will look when we export it, you see here the original document with the identified PHI elements of different PHI entities of different types. And here you see the results of the de-identification. You see that the patient name has changed. It was obfuscated, removed, replaced with a synthetic name. Date of birth was shifted, and so on, right? Email was replaced with stars. The majority of the strategies I chose were obfuscation. So they were actually replaced with fake data, right? So this is what the model will export. If you go to the export page here and you say, I want to export with the identification, right? So only those tasks which have been de-identified, which have the status the identified will be exported either in JSON format or in text format, and you can safely share it with the outside world.